there you are. What is up, YouTube? Alright, let's get comfortable and welcome back to what is the last video of the year on my channel, and I wanted to make this video as special as I possibly could. So what did I decide to do? I will tell you, or rather you must know by now looking at the title of the video, because I am going to be reviewing the FZ 2.0 or the FZ 2.0 Sports. Now, I'd actively stayed away from reviewing this bike because I have an FZ, I'm a Yamaha fan, and I did not want that to bias me in my objective review of this bike. So I reviewed the Gixxer, the Hornet, the Pulsar NS160, but I actively stayed away from the Yamaha FZ because I thought I would just be very partial towards the bike. But considering that I then sat down and realized that I could exercise a certain amount of restraint about my gushing love for the Yamaha FZ and still be as objective as possible, I decided to go ahead and do that. So lo and behold, that is exactly what I did, and believe me when I tell you this, it blew me away. I love the bike. I think out of all of the 4 150cc bikes out there, this is probably my favorite by far, and in my excitement I forgot to talk about a lot of things that are supposed to be spoken about, especially the fuel injection, because I was just so lost in the ride quality. So that is the reason why I have this fancy brochure here with me. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, that should probably work much better. It says FZ Sports FI Dark Knight Edition, the shadow of your soul. Now, that might be a little too dramatic for my taste, but the bike, its performance is incredible. It is exactly the reason why I bought this bike all of those years ago, and now there are a few changes which I did not really talk about in detail in the ride video, but they have it available in all of these colors, the FZ Sports version, and the only difference between the FZ Sports and the FZ is the stickering, or that's what I'm told by the showroom guys. But between the FZ that I have and this one that I test showed, you have the fuel injection, which is a huge deal, and also you have a different muffler, you have the new split seat design, and you have a split seat, you know, that thing that you hold at the back as well, which I'm not remembering the name of right now. I'm not a big fan of that because I was trying to actually pull the bike back, and I'm used to having a full, what is that thing called? Split grab bar. So I'm used to having a full split grab bar at the back, and that is what I used to pull the stand back. And over here I tried to reach for it and there was absolutely nothing, and I almost ended up dropping the test ride bike, but I did not because I'm an experienced rider. So all is well that ends well, and with that we are going to end 2017, and we're also going to begin the test ride video of the FZ 2.0 2017. Hope you guys have fun. Alright, so the moment has finally arrived. This is the FZ 2.0, and there are 2 versions in this, the FZ 2.0 and the FZ 2.0 Sports. I'm given to believe that the Sports version just has this dome in the front and different stickering and coloring options. Apart from that, it is pretty much the same bike as the FZ 2.0. Now, coming to this bike, I really love the posture and the seating position of it. I love how aggressive the bike sounds. It looks like it has a lot of power on tap. And this is surprising to me because of all of the other bikes in the 150cc segment, this has probably the lowest BHP out of all of the bikes. It has 13 BHP of power and 12.8 Newton meters of torque. However, take nothing away from the bike because it really performs when you want it to. When you turn up the accelerator, the bike is ready to go. And as an erstwhile FZ owner, I can tell you that brings a smile on my face. I've had an FZ now for about 7-8 years, I think, and it served me really well. I love the way the bike handles. I love the way it can sneak into traffic. I love the way it corners. And whatever said and done, I think Yamaha has a different level of refinement altogether. Now, when I compare this to the other 150cc segment bikes like the Gixxer, the Honda Hornet, or even the Bajaj Pulsar NS160, I always found something to be lacking, but not on this bike. I love the way this bike feels. And it maybe even has, look at this woman, just talking on the phone and crossing the road at her own whim and fancy. Well, that's Bangalore traffic for you. But anyways, coming back to the way this bike feels and how you can almost filter it around in traffic like I'm doing right now. I think it also has something to do with the fact that this is one of the lightest in the 150cc segment. This bike barely weighs in at 132 kgs, and it beats the other bike, the Gixxer, which was, before I rode this, that was the lightest one that I'd ridden at 135 kgs. However, this feels much lighter. Even though it's lighter only by 2 kgs, I have to say it feels much lighter, and it's definitely a lot more lighter than the Honda Hornet, which is a slightly heavier bike. The gear shifting, that's one thing that I have to say, because Yamaha test ride bikes are notorious for not having smooth shifting gears. No such problems with this, and that is again a delight as far as Yamaha bikes are concerned, because you don't have this luxury with the Honda Hornet. You don't have this with the Gixxer, because the gears in those bikes feel very clunky and are rather difficult to shift, but no such problems as far as the Yamaha FZ 2.0 is concerned. Again, it came to a stop very smoothly, no false neutrals, none of those kind of issues. I just wish that this test ride bike had mirrors as well, because when you're giving out your bike to prospective customers to test ride, you just want to make sure that you're following all safety precautions in order to make sure that nobody gets into any trouble. However, I am so impressed by the pickup on this bike. It's like you just need to turn up the throttle and the bike is ready to go. And you can cut into tight corners like that as well. Incredible. Like I said, as far as maneuverability is concerned, you can't get much better than the Yamaha FZ. Take it from one of the owners. Also, I have to say, I really love the way the stickering and the branding on this particular bike looks. The colors, heavily inspired from an army look, I think go really well with this bike, and I might not personally go in for it still, because this kind of looks cool once in a while, but I would still go with the classic colors like the black or the red or maybe even the white. However, I have to say that I'm so impressed by this bike, and as a Yamaha owner, as a Yamaha fan, I have to say that this is surpassing my expectations for sure. If you look at the console, it is nothing special, but again, they've upgraded it over the FZ 1.0 that I had back in the day, or I still have. This is a much smaller console. I actually prefer the older one because I think it makes the bike look much bigger and meaner and nicer. However, I'll settle for this. What really is impressing me is the riding posture, the maneuverability, and how well the bike handles, and all of the power it seems to have. Do not get fooled by that 13 bhp. To me, this feels much more powerful than a lot of those 150cc bikes I have test ridden in the past. Alright, time for us to get going again. I love it. I just love how eager the bike seems to take off. We're just going to hit a nice little U-turn over here and take off. Here we go. Let's do a little bit of a speed run, shall we? 5 gears on this baby, no ABS. It has a 12-liter tank, and it is supposed to give you a mileage of about 55 kilometers per liter, but not if you ride like I was just riding. However, even if you can extract about, let's say, 40-45 kilometers per liter out of this bike, I think that is a very, very good deal. Oh, this is brilliant. Also, I have to say the brakes on this bike seem really, really good, especially compared to the other 150cc bikes I've test ridden. Maybe they've just maintained this test ride bike really, really well, but the brakes are absolutely on point. This bike comes in at about 96 to 97,000 rupees on road in Bangalore, and I think for that price it is an absolute steal. It is the second cheapest bike in that category. Of course, the cheapest one is the Gixxer 155, but if you ask me, if I had to put my money where my mouth is for a 150cc bike, I would go in for the FZ 2.0 all over again. So that is it, guys. That does it for my review of the Yamaha FZ 2.0. I hope you guys found it useful, and I will be making a detailed comparison video of this against the Hornet, the Pulsar NS 160 and the Gixxer 155 very soon, so look out for that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, be good, and as always, if this is your first time around at the Savant Life, then make sure to hit that subscribe button because it only takes a second, and while you're at it, also click on the bell icon so that you can be notified when I put out more new videos. I will see you in the next one. Be good and have fun. Ciao. And before you guys signed off, I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish all of you a belated Merry Christmas in case you celebrate, and also a very Happy New Year. May 2018 be filled with wealth, health, success and happiness for all of us. I will see you in 2018. Until then, take care, be good, ride safe, and as always, have fun.